You've said in the past that you don't favour quotas, but you do favour targets. So in that sense, what do you mean? You know, how does a target work where a quota doesn't?
Prescribed quotas are in no one's interest, because you always have a doubt that it's because of conforming with the quota that you have been, put in your position or whatever. Targets means that managers have to articulate a target, something which they feel is within their control, and then they must be held accountable for delivering on it. It's similar to budgeting. So management prepare a budget as a team and they present that to the board, and the board signs off on it, and then that's the plan to which we manage year in, year out. Similarly, I think having targets around diversity and the composition of the workforce is helpful, and targets are only effective if people are held accountable to their delivery. And I think it should be prescribed at a company level rather than an overarching government set target, which is germane to every single company operating. I don't think that is constructive.
The award you got recently was for leadership, and it's always a sort of interesting question: where does leadership start and management stop? What's different about being an executive manager to being a director? Do you see this sort of challenge as a leadership issue, or indeed, how do you see leadership in that sense?
Leaders can be operating at the bowels of the organisation or at the highest levels of an organisation. I don't think leadership is something which is relevant only to those who are sitting in a governing role. So management definitely requires that people are leaders, and on boards, not everyone on a board is a leader. For every successful leader, you've got to have a lot of good followers, and I think that the art of being, of following is very undervalued or devalued in this world. Every school you see advertises the potential for children to be educated as leaders, but it's a complete myth that everyone can be a leader. So leadership is I think, can be born out of education, but it's an innate thing, I think, and it requires courage, it requires self-confidence, and the ability to make a call on things. It can be very uncomfortable, but it's good fun, and I think that particular sorts of people aspire to leadership roles and others don't, and it's not that one's better than the other. The complementary nature of leadership, and perhaps not following but just getting on with it, is what makes the world tick.
And do you see a gender difference? Do women lead differently to men?
There is a complete difference between men and women socially and in every way. So women do lead differently, and women have to lead more by earning people's respect and then perhaps commanding the authority of leadership. I think for men, the initial step is much more around they can command that authority and have people's confidence without having to prove themselves. Women leaders have to prove themselves and then earn confidence and then can command the respect.